There's the cue ball going, oh, so close to the black.
He needs something out of the match, really. Having lost 3-0, no points, no frames. And he's playing John Higgins, who, of course, has won this title twice. 2017, 2018, both times came into groups. But just the fact that he's reached 4 finals tells you how well he's been playing.
Running and running.
John Higgins.
Ronnie can't really risk dropping the cue ball into the pack of reds here from either side, because the loose reds he could leave on. So tempted to drop in.
One-time shot to get in the winners group for the players coming in. Of course, Ricky was a late call-up for Neil Robertson, as O'Sullivan, meantime,
Some players may have considered taking the cue ball into the pack of reds there to dislodge a few more, bearing in mind that red is waiting for you over the left corner at a later date. Second red has gone, it's blocking the black.
John Higgins 9.
you always know, though, that Higgins is going to play an effective safety if it goes wrong. That all-round game has stood him in great stead, hasn't it, for the last 3 decades. Just brushed a red.
I think he's left a red on here, the red below the pink. And what's more, I think the black's available into the same pocket. Certainly the pink is to the right centre.
Thank you.
I guess one of the key things is there's no fear for John Higgins playing him. Now, he's been well beaten by Ronnie O'Sullivan several times, including in finals, but he doesn't have maybe the feeling some players, even top players, have playing him, because he's beaten him in plenty of big occasions as well.
No.
Neither was in Berlin last week. They didn't qualify for the German Masters. John Higgins was beaten in the quarterfinals of the Masters by Mark Williams in an absolute thriller that went the distance, that had the crowd on their feet. And O'Sullivan lost to Neil Robertson also in the quarterfinals.
Well, if John goes into the pack of reds here, they may not split too well for him. Wasn't a good pack to go into from the black and
25.
Well, it's a good sign for Higgins, knocking those in so early on.
Well, that didn't work out too badly for John, did it?
28.
Missed the main pack of the reds, and in the end it was the loose red that enabled John to have a potable red here. Given the start that he's made, I'll be a little surprised if he doesn't win this first frame from here.
36.
Well, that red sort of fell in the end. Still have to develop these 4 reds if he is going to win the frame at this visit.
Well, they have to develop them now, I feel. You'll have to use those 4 reds as a stopper, really, for the cue ball. Big ball here on the black.
Well, it looks like a frame winner, doesn't it? Couldn't have gone much better, that.
40.
Just needs to stay focused, you feel, here now. Already 58 in front, so not much more to do.
45.
We'll need another red after the blue, in fact, to win the first frame pretty comfortably. I think the red he knocked in to the green pocket to keep this break going was, as I say, a good sign that he's cueing well. Obviously he's been practising, just hasn't had any tournament since the Masters, but that's only a couple of weeks ago. Didn't play in the shootout, but he will be playing the shootout winner, Hussein Vafai, next week in round 1 of the Players' Championship. That'll be along the road in Wolverhampton.
This bedcloth is so quick, but it appears that the cushions are as well. So John's just overrun there by a foot or so, much to his surprise.
55.
Higgins, 25 centuries so far this season. Of course, he's second on the all-time list, but a long way, as everyone is, behind Ronnie O'Sullivan. Good 250 centuries behind him. Still, it's a part of his game maybe he doesn't get enough credit for, the break building. We talk of him as the match player and the tactician, but you don't get to do what he's done without being a heavy scorer as well.
65.
I think, Dave, it's the other way around maybe from Ronnie O'Sullivan's point of view. We all give him great credit for being such an incredible break maker, all-time table topper in terms of centuries.
Both got everything, that's why they're still at the top after 30 years.
73.
Great chance for the ton now for the Scotsman. Saw Karen Wilson, of course, end with one in his 3-0 victory against O'Sullivan, who has played 4 frames and lost them all so far today.
$85. 89. 94.
Well, he turns 47 in May, but John Higgins remains a class act. This pink for a century in frame 1.
he did well there to avoid clear match.
One.
Yeah, it just seems nothing's gone right for him. You know, on another day, you don't leave the red on, but he has done. So Higgins in immediately here in frame 2. We know that he's queuing nicely already from the century he made in the first frame.
Six. Seven.
Yeah, as I say, he's had a good season without actually winning a tour to Neil Robertson in the English Open final. He lost to Judd Trump in the Champion of Champions final, and he lost to Luca Brissell in the Scottish Open final, although those two were not that close.
$50.
Of course, a lot of players just reaching finals would feel like a great achievement, but Higgins, with his great career record of winning tournaments, understandably was disappointed to not quite get his hands on a trophy, but there's still a lot of snooker to play.
Potting that red to the left corner, I think it makes another one available into the right corner. The red that's closest to the black at the back of the pack there. I think John got a little more reaction out the cue ball.
John Higgins 30.
As I said, though, in the first frame, you know that white's going to be on the baulk cushion. So, you know, he's not going to be just playing the cue ball down there with disappointment in mind. Sullivan has caught this a bit thick. It's another terrific pot, though, isn't it? You know, okay, as you say.
Well, that could have worked out a little better for John, but the red's still on into the left centre.
Nine.
Making up the numbers, far from it. As Sullivan won the World Grand Prix just before Christmas.
And I think, Dave, what that shows to me is the importance of knowing the game inside and out, playing the right shot at the right time, and giving yourself every chance to win matches.
Well, that's a rare error from Higgins. He's caught the knuckle of the middle pocket, so there is a red on here to left corner. For once, a safety error. But can O'Sullivan finally make an impact on this group? He's in.
He's in this one as well. That was a terrific pot from him. That couldn't have looked easy.
No, I mean, that World Grand Prix final against Robertson, he was second best most of the day until the last mini session, when from 7-5 down he just turned it on in the style that really only he can, and just breezed through to win in something like an hour, not even that.
Ronnie trying to work out a way of bringing the black into play. Won't be easy, I have to say.
40.
Needs to get back into this frame by taking the available loose reds.
50.
Still 35 points or 34 points adrift. Still a bit of work for John to do here to take this 2-0 lead. He'll need one of the awkward reds at least. Though that one behind the black spot doesn't look too difficult. Another mistake from John there. I have a feeling he actually played for the red
7.
to the right corner, the one that's near the cushion. The cue ball just ran through and I think John expected it to stun.
John Higgins.
Well, it's a reprieve for O'Sullivan, but once again he comes to the table and it's trouble. Higgins just seems adept at finding the right spot.
Davies actually snookered Ronnie on all 4 reds, which was quite some feat from where the cue ball was.
Well, he'll be...
I wonder if somehow Ronnie will try to bring the black into play here. He's managed it. That red's running on. It may not be potable, but
get it as safe as he would have liked. He needs. So this safety exchange, very important. Yes, and now this is trouble, because, as I say, if he leaves a red on, it's surely 2-0.
oh, I don't like that shot from John. Why he's taking the red on, that can't be the right shot. He knows this table isn't running perfectly true.
But he knows one opening, it could all be over, as far as O'Sullivan is concerned.
Yeah, maybe Ronnie didn't attempt the pot on the red there. Wow.
A chance. He had that chance earlier, missed the pink to left middle.
Mistake that he wasn't making in the first frame and for half of this.
6.
never easy to cue straight. When you're leaning across the table like this, it's just not easy to push the cue through in a straight line. No problem though.
Classic sort of betwixt and between this, isn't it? Not ideal. But in it goes.
90.
Well, this is up in the lap of the gods really as to how this will finish. He's missed the yellow. Will it be a free ball? It will be. So a real chance here for Ronnie.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, full free ball.
Was banging control. I mean, normally if John Higgins is 40 odd in front with reds on cushions, he's a massive favourite to win the frame, but a couple of little errors from him have contributed. O'Sullivan just checking the maths as he attempts to make the clearance.
4.
He's overdone this one a little bit.
Oh, he has, Dave. If he pots the green, does the cue ball cannon the blue? Well, a long way off with the green, but had to try and get the cue ball around the angle somehow. Needs a bit of good fortune and hasn't had any.
Yeah, just overdid position from yellow to green. So Higgins, after all that 14 in front, needs green and brown. Well, strange frame in a way, because in the end O'Sullivan, he did win the safety battle, but he couldn't go on and make the clearance. This is frame ball.
7.
So in terms of frames, this morning it's played 5, lost 5 for the 6 times world champion. Not as clean a frame for Higgins, having made 100 of course in the opener, but it's gone the same way.
John Higgins, 12. On the frame.
Yeah, John.
Players normally play from. He's got another tough safety to play here. Well, potentially he's left this red on as he covered it with the yellow. Well, that could have gone wrong position. So a chance here in frame 3 early on for John Higgins.
Yeah, and his mistakes in this match, and he's made a couple, have not been punished. They all know about each other's rep.
Next to the black spot there, but was short of pace a little. But if he's got this red in the middle of the pack as an alternative, he's very lucky. So straight he could run through for the black. Now, question being, is the black spot occupied? Well, it would appear that the black spot is.
50.
so fast, this bedcloth, isn't it? That cue ball just keeps running on. Very, very thin and can on the red to the right of the pink there, the loose one. He could do. I don't know if this has worked out too well for John. I think the red that's
27.
Well, he's doing well here, isn't he? Because, as I say, it's been
37.
done without black or pink. Building up a nice lead in this frame that he needs to get his first point of Group 7.
38.
it necessary to try and just dislodge a few of those reds with the pink, because they're all sort of blocking one another now. Oh, he's missed the brown.
A lifeline is thrown.
What? Six. Seven.
One down from the group around the pink. And that hasn't worked out. It was never going to be easy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 12.
The thing is, as I say, he's played the prop. But it's worth saying, even if you lose matches, it helps to win frames in them, because that's the next metric after points. It's frames won. So losing 3-0 really is as bad as it gets, really. Even if you could get a couple of frames here, even if you lost 3-2, that would be a help. But 3-0 is no use to anybody.
O'Sullivan, similarly, awkward queuing over the brown there, but he's done well. But where's this red going to drop? Okay, it's gone past the centre pocket. Well, the worst possible outcome for John. Not only has he left this easy red for O'Sullivan, he's developed some of the more awkward ones, and this all of a sudden now for Ronnie is a great opportunity.
Yeah, you almost feel like it's now or never if he's going to win a frame in this session. He's going to be here, or maybe not at all.
3. 4.
I don't think playing for the black is any good to Ronnie because it would tie up the two reds near the black spot.
11.
Having to play around for the pink, and he's played this pretty well.
Seventeen. 18.
Well, now the difficulties will begin for
20.
Ronnie. The remaining red, not ideally placed by any means. This fast cloth will benefit John Higgins here because he's going to have to try and get that cubal up the table for pink or blue. Oh, that little bump off the jaw could have really helped John there. This is the big shot coming up for John Higgins. Needs to be able to screw back to leave the green nearly straight. So he needs a good 12 or 16 inches of screw back on the yellow here.
Eight.
Oh, I'd be happy with that. That looks good to me. Come off the side cushion, play the cubal in behind the brown.
He will need the blue as well, so 3 balls required here.
11.
To win the match. There you go, a plot twist. Table, good start for Ding. Higgins again needs brown and blue. This is a bit of a stretch, this brown.
4.
But in it goes, and it looks like he's about to complete a miserable session for Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's played 2, not only lost 2, but has not won a frame. Blue for victory. He made 100 in the first. He got in front in both of the next 2, didn't kill them off clinically, but was helped by errors from O'Sullivan. John Higgins takes his first point. You can't ask for better than 3-0, regardless of how the match went. He's the winner.
John Higgins 9. Frame. In the match.
O'Sullivan concedes, so as I say, not the start he was hoping for. He lost 3-0 to Corin Wilson. He's